All right, game number 5 here, tied up, Integrity Dam versus Ad Hoc Gaming. Also, I gotta say, and a couple people in chat pointed this out as well. Well, okay, it's just something I want to talk about. Quite a number of things different with the UI as well.
Yeah, big updates so far to the UI. We can see the class colors, you can see the debuffs as well, a little bit more of them. You can see right now Baka under his frame right there. You can see the scatter shot and the duration of it and everything. Big shout out to the people who've been working on that. And the game is live. We got the Reds already in the Hammer of Justice here. Baka, a Stormkeeper. He's dropped the Sky Fury. Who is he going to select as his target right now? Baka actually gates out of there and realizes he's behind enemy lines. And there we go. Oh my God. Facile drops to 10% again. Whoa, his HP is literally a JoJo right there. Look at Relza burning through 20% mana right away.
Wait, that's a Swedish accent. Oh. A yo-yo. That's awesome. Cassidy and a lightning lasso right now. Baka trying to set up some burst damage for his team, but it is Ad Hoc Gaming once again. Very nice knock there from Baka. Cassidy and Facile going to be shut down just a little bit on their damage potential. Fnobbers and Walrus still just preemptively kiting. It's a game of cat and mouse. Rel's going to be chasing in and able to get that double fear. Big mind games on Baka right now. He's in trouble. 3v1 situation. Fnobbers finally out of crowd control. Some big heals incoming, but the diminishing return trap goes out onto Fnobber. Still an opportunity for them to take down Baka, but finally able to cast. Fnobbers tops off his team, now looking for aggression of his own, landing that Hammer of Justice onto Relza.
Oh, Baka's trying to line up a Stormkeeper with that Hammer of Justice. Is he going to be able to combo it here? Who's he going to go after? All 3 targets in line of sight. Big triple lava burst combo. Lightning bolts flying out. Facile, aspects of the Turtles, respects it on game 5, facing elimination. They can't afford any mistakes. They're trying to push for the kill here onto Baka. They stun up Fnobbers. They go for the Psychic Scream. They cover it. Walrix is counter pressuring though. Dark Soul and Dark Glare. Baka on the back foot. They have to trade sacrifice blow after blow back and forth between these teams. Facile trying to jump back to the pillar, but Cassidy out in midfield, going for Cyclones, trying to stall the advance of Integrity Damp here, but he's very low on health out in midfield. Windshield on a heal. He's trying to push through the pain, but the whole team is getting decimated. Big Radiance comes in from Relza, back in the fight. Baka pulls towards the gateway on the portal for Walrix, waiting for that Stormkeeper, waiting for the Sky Fury Totem. Facile wants to land a freezing trap here. Are they going to cover it with the Entangling Roots? Relza jumps in for a Psychic Scream. Baka uses Demonic Gateway. Cassidy in pursuit, activating the Kindred Spirits, going for some big burst damage potentially onto Baka here. Needs to push for the kill, but Astral Shift from Baka denies it. Defenses are up. Relza's mana not looking amazing at this point in time. Are they going to try and reset? Look for a drink here. They're currently just going after Baka with no crowd control. This is dangerous. Stormkeeper channeled by Baka. Loading up here. Primordial Wave. He could thunderstorm everyone out of the barrier. Where's the thunderstorm? Doesn't look like they're able to. Baka Cyclone. There's the thunderstorm. Where's the Stormkeeper Lava Burst? Baka's trying to line it up, but he's getting disrupted. Not able to find damage just yet. Interrupted and stunned. Fnobbers now in a freezing trap. They dispel it off with the Imp Singe magic. Fnobbers recovers. Now Fnobbers wants to push in. They've got Hammer of Justice. Walrix wants to get into the fight. Baka gets knocked off the side. Tries to line the sight over here with Cassidy. Cassidy winning this one-on-one exchange. Looks for a Cyclone at low health. Cyclone's a blessing of protection. Nice. Well timed.
Really nicely done there by Cassidy, able to slow down any sort of incoming healing. Right now, Relza eats a big UA, and he has rotted through most of his mana, but Ad Hoc Gaming, they're just going for it. They need to try to take down Baka, but the Integrity Damp can stabilize. I feel like they've gotten to their win. Lightning Lasso onto Cassidy right now. Relza just nothing left in the tank. Rapture Shield's going to be able to keep his team alive for a little bit longer, but the Purge is incoming as well. Relza is just completely out of mana. At the same time, though, Baka going to be taken down. Stormkeeper gets interrupted immediately. Relza, he goes in for a fear, but he might just get punished. Walrus finds a fear of his own, looking to take him down. Scatter shot on the Walrus. They need to slow down damage just a little bit more, but if they run away, it's going to be devastating. Cassidy getting bursted down, and he's going to get dropped. Big Penance comes in, and he manages to survive. Facile looking for counter pressure, still just throwing in those aim shots, but I don't know how much time they have left. There's no Divine Shield. Knobbers might drop as well. This is crazy.
Relza has about 1% left in his mana bar. They have one more attempt, and there we go. Full fear, mind games. Baka, how is he going to survive? Is the bite going to be big? He uses the Astral Shift to recover, but full trap comes out. And big aim shot bite, and they are going to win this one. Ad Hoc Gaming, against all odds, being down the entire series, takes Baka down and stays alive.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Well done. I mean, when they were completely out of mana. There was nothing left. The only thing for them to do was to just push forward and try to overcome, and they managed to do it. They take down Baka, eat through all those cooldowns. Really great series to start off the day.
This is a potential, this is match point here for Skillcraft EU, and we saw this matchup already play out 1-1. Definitely not a convincing victory on either side, so this could be Oldness Strikes getting knocked down to the lower bracket right here and right now. If Skillcraft EU can get those big setups, they're looking for it right now. They got the Blinding Sleep, Kara 3 freedoms, and look at his positioning. He's going to just be ready to toss out those Word of Glories. He gets a nice sacrifice there, and now Kara's looking to solo Asgrath. Asgrath immediately responding with his wings. Lizzo taking damage, a bit of a split strategy coming out here. Nerdridge now Blade Storming with that legendary, doing massive damage. Lizzo in a disarm right now, and once again they're looking for that shaman here. Tana needs to be extremely careful. Zipa is all over him here, gets feared up there. If they can connect with a stun there, that could be lights out. It could be a Trinket Spirit Link already for Tana. He's going to use the a big Aura Mastery heal there. He gets stunned on it. Blessing of Protection. Gonna trade out, and Asgrath now in a full fear into a Hex. Blizzo in massive trouble right now. Asgrath, what are you gonna do? You trade out the anti-magic zone there. Excellently done there by Zipai. And now Zipai looking to set up the next Blinding Sleep here as soon as Blizzo recovers from that pressure.
Well, let's see if he can. I mean, he's still down at half with not really a lot left here. Will he be able to recover and stay on target? They're chasing down Tana, but that Freedom Ghost Wolf getting tons of value. Asgrath now on the back foot. Huge Wake of Ashes from Kara across the entire team, but the grip into triple Blinding Sleet, triple Spear of Bastion. They're really tearing in right now. Nerdrage, desperate, pops die by the sword. Tana pops the Ascendant, Sanctuary out of crowd control, and trying to retreat away from the cleave, but it's not the Abomination Limb from the Death Knight Zipai. That's really when they're going to be in trouble, and they just netted some very powerful cooldowns before that moment. And now Asgrath, though, in trouble if he doesn't trade effectively. Down at half, getting chopped up by Kara and Nerdrage. Much more faster paced with the double melee into double melee. Asgrath patiently holding on to Divine Shield, cautiously trying to stabilize, but caught into a Storm Bolt. Big sweeping strikes from Nerdrage across the board here with that Sharpened Blade. They need to spread out. They need to get ready. Kara is trying to retreat away from the cleave here as we see a leap from Blizzo onto Tana. Zipai wants to get a triple setup here in range with the triple Abomination Limb. Pillar of Frost comes up in about 10 seconds. That's where they need to set up. Blizzo's got Warbreaker. They could turn this around quite quickly, but Asgrath's on the back foot. Every second counts. Asgrath has to Divine Shield. Will there be a shattering throw? Nerdrage shatters the Divine Shield. Asgrath has to pop the Avenging Wrap, but here comes the grips. Zipai is ready for it. Tana lays down the Earthen Wall, but I'm not sure it'll be enough. Abomination Limb, Spear of Bastion, Wombo, combo, dragon across the board. Kara has to Divine Shield. Tana and Kara were ready. They're not going to throw in the moment like they did last time. Tana is still struggling, though. Even with Astral Shift, they could get a Spirit Link Totem. They're desperately trying to push Tana for it. Is he going to have to drop it? He does. And suddenly, both sides are running on fumes.
Yeah, but Tana's still not out of the woods yet. Trying to run away. This damage from Zipai and Blizzo. Tana might just get dropped. Kara trying everything he can to try to keep him alive, just spamming out the heals. Nerdrage even going for a Door of Shadows, potentially going for that Disorient. Asgrath now getting swapped to no Trinket, no Divine Shield. He's going to be in some trouble, but lining up his Avenging Wrath with Kara's now has just faded. That anti-magic zone from Zipai really slowing down the damage from Oldness Strikes. Kara not going to be happy with that one, and once again, both these teams kind of stabilize here, but Oldness Strikes, you can't help but feel like Tana is in a lot of trouble. If you look at the defensive cooldowns, there's basically no options left, and this just could be it. This is the big wombo combo. Once again, Zipai and Blizzo looking to crush Tana, and he gets dropped. Nicely done there by Skillcraft EU. Once again, and even with their new roster bringing in Asgrath on that healer, their flexibility in these matchups, going from a wizard cleave, going to a melee cleave, and just dominating shows why they're such a powerful team.
All right, here we go. Gates are open. Match point. Mercy on his mount, not charging in just yet. A bit reluctant to, having seen that last game the way it ended. They don't want to overextend. I like the positioning, though, so they're not stacked up for a triple Dragon's Breath, as Thesha is invisible at the moment. And it looks like they're just going to wait out the invisibility, playing out as standard of a game as possible. Now that they can see the mage, okay, it's time to attack. We're not going to get triple Dragon's Breath. Jump right on the mage, which means that Zuniaki needs to try and slip through on the left side. Are they going to swap to Zuniaki while he repositions on top of Lone Tar? Spirit Bastion down here on Thesha. Huge crack of damage, and Chaz has to sacrifice immediately right off the bat. I don't really mind that trade. It's basically all the cooldowns from Reload Esports, but now he's actually getting swapped to. If they can net Divine Shield on the swap, that would be devastating. They get Avenging Wrath, but not Divine Shield. They get right back onto Thesha. They want to stop all the polymorphs that they can, and they just feel like the Shadow Priest CC isn't that threatening. Silence connects here. Mystic's going to Trinket during the Silence, as it is Combustion. Pop off with that Avenging Wrath from the Reckoning. Try and heal himself up here with some Word of Glories, and that's going to be more than enough healing to survive the Combustion. Now Combustion's down, Void Form is down. Reload Esports need to get aggressive.
Yes, they do, and it looks like they're going to. Hammer of Justice on Chaz as he deflects the situation with a double Dragon's Breath. But the Warstorm comes in from Mystic. They're just continuing this pain train on Thessia, just going to be rushing him down basically the entire game. The Lone Tar is just in a position where he can always line of sight, always get off the purges when he needs, and that's why this map is so good. Chaz is going to burn through his mana really quickly, and we're going to have to see Zuniaki really try to set up his team in this matchup. Mystic line of sighting, or see diffusing Zuniaki just a little bit with a Stormbolt. Now both of them relocating on Thessia, trying to continue this damage. It's going to be really difficult for Thessia to actually reset that combustion, and that's the main problem. If Thessia never gets away, he doesn't get to cast many fireballs, and they just fall further and further behind on actually getting their goes, which is the only chance they're actually going to win the game. Meteor drops down. It is not combustion. It is not enough damage. Then Mystic will be able to hold on, more than likely. Spiritling Totem actually drops, and Ascendant. A surprising amount of damage coming in from the side of Method. They actually are able to get some key defensive cooldowns from Reload Esports.
I feel like they over-answered a little bit there, but given what has happened in the past, I don't think it's too bad. The problem is, I feel like you should over-answer when they pop Combust. That was not the Combustion, so now Thessia is going to have a nice big window where you can get a big Combust out and potentially force out the Divine Shield. But right now, Mercy Blade Storming after Thessia here, doing a lot of damage. Mystic with the wings as well. We know what can happen here. If they get a big Divine Toll, if they get a big crit, and now here we go. This is the attempt to force out the bubble. Lontar in a full Panda ratio and Mystic immediately having to use that bubble right there. Lontar doesn't want to Trinket, doesn't have that Spirit Link to combo with it, and it also didn't have that Grounding Totem to combo with it. So nice opening there by Method. They see it and they take it and they build it up on that previous setup. Now Thessia taking massive damage here once again. Chaz in a cap totem, but no follow-up crowd control. Chaz powering through with the wings right now, but Thessia still getting stuck here. Nice Shadow Mouth coming out there, and Chaz, I do believe, getting Storm Bolted right there, and Thessia still going to be able to stay alive for a little bit longer. Earthenwall Totem trades out now as well. Lontar here anticipating CC. There it is. Triple CC. Sheep onto Mercy. The Ring of Frost onto Lontar out of the Fear. Mystic taking a lot of damage. The Mind Games not going to be able to connect there. Mystic 3v1 with those wings. Going to be able to keep himself alive, and now looks to turn the pressure back onto Thessia.
All right, let's see if they can keep it up here. They're falling behind on cooldowns. They're trying to push for Cauterizer block here. Well, they find it. Huge hit. Life grip from Zuniaki. Good positioning there between the two, despite this being the smallest map. That was the longest distance life grip that they could really get. Lone Tar lobbing in Lava Burst. Very important for him to maximize damage with his team to crack down that Triune Ward. We see the Spirit Bastion down on Thesha. He's stuck inside the circle for a bit, blinking as soon as it's over, using Alter Time as well, soaking up all the damage and likely healing himself up to full here in the future. Relocating for a cheeky polymorph attempt, but gets shut down by a Hammer of Justice. Chaz is trying to drink, but Thesha is getting shredded. Huge damage. Chaz has to sacrifice here on that Wake of Ashes hit, bombing in some Holy Lights from the back line. Are they going to be able to get aggressive? Double Dragon's Breath intercepts. Thesha blinks back defensively. Zuniaki sneaks in, maybe for a Psychic Scream, but the pre-Warbander, they snipe it off with a Pyroblast, Shadow Word Pain. Ring of Frost connects on a Mystic around the corner. They're trying to set up Chaz for a drink. It's likely that Method want to take this game into dampening and kind of abuse the fact that Mystic doesn't have Divine Shield. If he charges out to stop the drink, he may die. So I really like that strategy and tactic from Method at this time, and they net themselves a full mana bar on their Holy Paladin, trying to play a slow and steady game in game number 5 and not take any risks. Here we see that stun silence combo from Zuniaki, but no damage really to back it up. Double power infusion, but no combustion. Just a Void Form. I don't think that's enough. No crowd control found on anybody here so far. Mystic dispelled into the polymorph. Stun on Thesha. Spirit Bastion down. Hammer of Reckoning procs. Huge hit from Mystic with that Wake of Ashes, and Thesha has to immediately ice block. Shattering throw cracks that ice block. Thesha blinks away with the Blazing Barrier. Chaz trying to top him off. Double Frost Nova, double Freedom. Mystic and Mercy looking to connect, but Zuniaki slips in the back line, gets a Psychic Scream. Mystic now in trouble. Will he go down here? Dispelling Mystic out, Shield of Vengeance, but it's Combustion. Still very scary damage for the mage, potentially. Daisha blinks in for Polly, gets shut down by Lontar. Combustion is about to run out, and with it, likely the series, as Method really don't have any threats for some time. Mystic's got Divine Shield coming up in just a moment, and I mean, I would be terrified if I was Stacia. He's trying to escape with that Soul Shape. Mystic goes in for the hammer. Zuniaki Master Spells it instantly. Now they swap over to Zuniaki, just trying to maximize that damage. The only thing really going for Method right now is that they set up that drink earlier. But in terms of defense, I mean, there's really not a lot left.
There's basically nothing left. There's no ice block. Actually, Sacrifice is coming up. That's going to be a huge emergency cooldown Chaz has available. But the consistent damage from Mystic and Mercy at dampening, especially 8% at this point, it's just going to get more and more difficult. But they're going for it. Can they take down Mystic? Well, let's see if they're able to do it. Do they have the damage? It's no combustion. Looks like Mystic will easily shrug off that go, despite Lone Tar being in a polymorph. Hammer of Justice now on Chaz. Big damage with the Spear of Bastion onto Thessia. It looks like he will be able to stabilize. Chaz gets out of the crowd control. A big Holy Light tops him off. But still, with no Ice Block and no Cauterize, you can never be feeling too confident against that Warrior Rep Paladin as a mage. And there's still some time before he can, in fact, get that Combustion off cooldown. Lone Tar in position, throwing in some Lava Burst, getting off the Purges. Big damage. And right now, Thessia's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and that was the Blessing of Protection there from Chaz to remove that stun on Tessia. And right now, Tessia actually polymorphs himself there, trying to get a little bit of HP. Here we go. Big damage coming out onto Mystic. They didn't overuse cooldowns right there. Mystic only using his Trinket there. Lontar still going to have his Trinket Spirit Link to fall back on. They still have the Divine Shield. Mana bar in favor of Chaz, but he is spending the mana a lot quicker than Lontar is. Lontar mostly spending it on Purges at this point. You can see Lontar here with his team. He's got the Sky Fury down. There's the wings. Anything could globalize this mage right here. But nice grip once again by Zuni. Always positioning super far away from his mage, gripping the mage, and now they're going to turn their pressure on to Zuni here. Big damage coming in still. Mercy in a polymorph. If it get dispelled, well, look what Chaz. He's ready to press Hammer of Justice. They're ready with the Combust. And Lontar doesn't have his grounding totem. He knows that the setup is happening. Chooses not to dispel that polymorph. Very, very intelligent play there. Even though it might look like the wrong thing to do, it is 100% the right thing to do. And there we go. Drops the preemptive Earthen Wall totem here as well. Zuni going to be repositioning. And now Lontar going to be pushing up with his teammates so we can start dispelling some of these crowd controls. Try to shut down some of these polymorphs. There's a grounding totem. On that one, there's the Wind Shear. Tessia looking for the Dragon's Breath. Lontar ducking to the opposite side. Zuni looking for the Fear. And Lontar is just basically dodging CC left, right, and center. Now Chaz caught up in a Hammer of Justice. Mercy and Mystic pushing Zuni away from the pillar, but now once again they leave Tessia free. Dragon's Breath, Sheep, Mercy, Trinket, War Banner, and they actually kill it off before the Sheep lands, and that's gonna net the bubble here as well. 2-for-1 cooldowns in that push. Excellently done, but Tessia now needs to get out of there as well before he gets caught up behind the pillar. He's able to do so. Double Fear coming out as well, and this is just excellent play after excellent play from Method. If they can keep this up, they could easily win this game still.
All right, Mystic, a prime target right now. No Divine Shield likely for the rest of the game. That's going to be a risky gamble to play on match point here in Game 5. Lontar needs to be ready. He's got Spirit Link Totem, lobbing out that Earth Elemental, trying to get some maximum damage here onto Thessia during that stun lock. But Thessia Trinkets blinks in, double Polymorph cast, gets Overwatch reflected by Mercy. Beautiful shutdown on that attempt there. Now Thessia has basically no mobility. Blessing of Freedom's up, but he's getting chopped away at 26% dampening. Chaz has to trade Sacrifice before the Avenging Wrath. Mystic has a huge smack of damage available. Lontar grounds incoming crowd control, trying to buy time for his team. Mystic uses Blessing of Protection to try and preempt something here, but it's not going to be too much, and Lontar drops Spirit Link, anticipating a lot of damage. It was prior to the combustion. That comes up in 30 seconds for Thessia if he can manage to hold things together, but maybe they're even swapping over to Chaz. He's going to use Divine Protection. Mystic's trying to chop him up with the Avenging Wrath. Chaz is just playing this patiently, kiting away with the Freedom, avoiding Mercy. Mercy and Mystic trying to get back onto Thessia. Lontar repositions back to the pillar, dispels a Vampiric Touch though. Can't set up any crowd control, unfortunately. Mystic, though, could get blasted. Combustion available. We saw how quickly he went down in that last game. This is a scary moment. There's not much left here for Reload Esports, despite it looking so good. Potentially, Method just take it out with a one-hit wonder. Combustion, double Psychic Scream, gets pre-Tremor Totem by Lone Tar. Nice play disrupting that. That could have been the setup to win. Thesha blinking away with Chaz, trying to kite, but now bringing him into Hammer of Justice range. They could swap to the Holy Paladin and shatter the bubble if he's not careful. Cap Totem out. Lone Tar into silence. Are they going to pop Combust? That's the power infusion. They're desperate here. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to hold it as a threat for later? It looks like Thesha wants to hold it for a threat later on. Committing Void Form and Combustion here and not getting a kill means that Reload Esports could have their way with them, so I'd like the patience to hold it off. Chaz tries to sit down for a bit of a drink here as this game has been going on for some time. Almost 40% dampening. Chaz stunned up. Thesha stunned up. There's the Spear of Bastion. Zuniaki sneaking in. Oh, the life grip gets pulled back. The blink gets pulled back. Big mistakes here by Method. If they can reconnect to Thesha, surely this is going to be a cauterizer, an ice block. They're just chopping them to pieces. That Spear of Bastion is getting huge value right now. Ice block force. Where's the shatter? Shattering throw immediately onto Thesha. He tries to blink. He gets charged on his blink. He's looking for Polly. Polly lands a Mystic. Instant dispelled into a Wincher. Double Dragon's Breath. Hammer of Justice. They're desperate. And they might pull it up. They do. The Meteor connects right at the last second with Combustion. Pulling off a kill. Mystic doesn't want to give up, though. Avenging Wrath available. I think it's unlikely with Sacrifice. It's over. He's tapping out. Method pull it off 3-2. And right now, Blizzo will be stepping up to the plate again. Again, this is a player I would trust my life with in World of Warcraft, I think, out of all of the players, especially on the Warrior here. Let's see what he can get done. He will have to dismantle go after go and protect his Paladin. And Waz is sneaking in. Blizzo just leaps into battle, trying to get combat, using taunt from range to get combat for his team to deny any sap. That was a clutch play by Blizzo. Map paying off. Thesha gets found. Blizzo blade storms to try and avoid being stunned. Chaz is cheeky. He wants to go in with a Door of Shadows, looking for a Door of Shadows Psychic Scream, trying to time it at the end of the polymorph here. Waz not finding a target. Likely wants to go on Asgrath out of the polymorph. They swap over to Asgrath. Let's see what Blizzo can get done. He intervenes Asgrath, denying a lot of damage and soaking a cheap shot. Nice play from Blizzo. Total shutdown right at the start. Now charging Thesha, looking to pressure him and run Chaz out of mana. Asgrath pokes Waz, preventing him from re-stealthing. Needs to keep his eyes on him. Waz now out of line of sight, not going to be able to stop him. Looking for a re-stealth. Blizzo in a polymorph. Thesha pausing the fight. Method look to try and get their composure and find a target.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice intervene from Blizzo early on. Good denial. See Azeroth just sitting there. He's going to get combat. Waz is moving in. He wanted to look for a sap, but unfortunately wasn't able to. Morrow actually blinks over on top of Asgrath. That allows Waz to get the double cheap shot. Big situation here on Asgrath. He's going to be in some trouble. He trades out the trinket and I think that's a great decision by Asgrath. Basically, anytime there's combustion, he needs to be trading out the trinket or the Divine Shield at the same time. Waz gets swapped to, I believe, the Powered Barrier and Waz's Gladiator's Medallion. But what I was saying is, if there's combustion up, Asgrath cannot rely on the Protection Paladin Legendary, but outside of combustion, I feel like he's going to be A-okay. So just have your cooldowns for that go. Big swap on Morrow now. Can they get the Ice Block? Method is all over the place, targeting all three members. Morrow gets a little bit low. He gets the intervene with Triune Barrier. And Waz, once again, just going for a re-stealth, consistently setting up for his team. Who are they going to go after now?
Very, very nice swap there on Morrow. Morrow, though, surviving with that Battlemaster Trinket, did not have to use his Ice Block. But in that previous setup, Waz used his Trinket and Chaz used his Trinket. So there's a very real opportunity that Waz gets stunned and Chaz gets polymorphed at the same time. And this could actually be it. Full polymorph security. If Asgrath just trades and hodges Waz here, that could just be it. He's going to sit through the stuns there. The Pro Legendary, not even going to trigger. Saved by the Light is going to be enough there. And Asgrath, he could have tried to do something offensive there, bopping himself and just hodging Waz and trying to do 100 Orin behind the pillar. Might actually have worked, but playing it safe here. This is a game number 5. There's a lot on the line here. Loser dropping down to the lower bracket, and they do find themselves a secondary target here, going for some polymorphs onto Asgrath, trying to set up onto Morrow in between the ghosts here. But so far, I would say Skillcapped EU definitely are holding the lead. Chaz, though, still looking good on mana, honestly. He's been playing very well in terms of mana conservative and also having his trinket rotating back up. So this is going to be a big moment here. Blizzo now chopping through with that Spear of Bastion, and now they're going after Blizzo with a cheap shot onto Asgrath. There's the combustion. There's the full polymorph. Blizzo now taking massive damage, activating that fear defensively, using his human racial there, holding on to his die by the sword, drops the war banner, and that should be enough to keep himself alive. DR Poly comes through. Tessia kills the banner and gets it, but that's going to be enough. Waz now going to go and retreat for that stuff. So I like that they're going for the warrior more and they're swapping between these targets more. Chazman is looking good, and so far I would say the game is very even.
The mind controls on Morrow have been devastating here, just pulling him out of the fight, stopping him from resetting his combustion. A lot of disruption and crowd control on Morrow this game. One major adaptation by Method. Also mixing up the targeting. Blizzo, though, pre-die by the swords, that incoming stun. I feel like that would have been Asgrath's trinket if he had not done that. Maybe they still will find it. Blizzo's at half health. He disarms Waz. He intervenes, trying to overwatch, reflect, and intervene a potential sap. Pre-barrier here by Chaz on the Hammer of Justice, that purple barrier reducing a lot of damage on his whole team. That was an insane read by Chaz. That's absorbing so much damage right now. Waz is going to easily survive. Chaz has been making hero play after hero play in this series, keeping his team alive in those tense moments. Now, though, in a Ring of Frost, Waz is isolated. Meteor's coming in. He's got to be careful. Cloaking at 10%. Barely staying alive, and now trying to set up damage on Asgrath. Asgrath's Divine Protection looks like it's going to be more than enough here, topping himself off instantaneously. Now caught into a polymorph, though, as Method look to switch back. Who are they going after? Likely Blizzo, but Blizzo stuns Waz right on his attack, denying all of the damage. However, the crowd control is still there for one more second. Asgrath's Divine Shields, is that enough? He needs the sack. He got Dragon's Breath. He got Mass Dispelled on his bubble, Dragon's Breath on his sack global cooldown, and Blizzo is taken out. Method pull it off 3-2.
Absolutely insane plays there by Method from start to finish. They just adapted in this matchup. Complete control, these consistent setups on the Blizzo. I mean, I don't even feel like Skill Captain You played that game bad. Blizzo had a preemptive die by the sword that was absolutely sick, that kept him alive and prevented some cooldowns, but Method just with those mind controls, with the constant resells, the constant goes, constantly switching it up in the matchup, really kept them guessing. And finding that kill on Blizzo was just, it was beautiful. This is going to be an incredibly close series. Very back and forth, little outplays. Who can set up and who can deny setups just that much better. I'm going to be taking a look at some of the gearing and see what legendary Kara is going with in particular, as I am curious to see it.
All right, here we go. We're going to see Kara, Zipai, Blizzo. Look at Blizzo. He's not even dismounting here. He's just chilling on his Scarab. And here we go. Asgrath taking a fat hit of damage right there. Has to use his trinket, his wings right away. You can see Oldness strikes here. Definitely looking kind of young in that opener here, forcing out big cooldowns right away. Now Kara here on that red. Last time around, he chose to kite a lot in this matchup. He's trying to spread out with Nerd Rage for those chill streak bounces. And now they're going to connect onto Tana, potentially grip somebody in. Most likely going to be Kara here. And there we go. There's the stun. There's the grip. Where's the blinding sleep? Nicely dodged there by Tana. Kara as well, dispelling him with that Sanctuary. Excellent play so far from the old man. And now they're looking to set up a Hex here and cleave it up here. Bladestorm coming out now from Blizzo. Nerd Rage as well, looking to get some pressure here in the midfield. Zipai in a Hex. And now once again, going to be connecting on that Shaman. Tana with the Freedom though. Should be okay for now. There's the Spear of Bastion now connecting, but they don't have that big shield streak set up yet. Askarov gets purged there. All his Divine Favor and the wind shear almost goes down there. Tana now in a fear, and here we go. Zipai looking to set up here once again. Can he find the shield streak? That is going to be the question.
And he's still waiting for Pillar of Frost. Blizzo's got Warbreaker, though, and they're all stacked up. Nerd Rage dropping his Spear Bastion. Stormbolt on Asgrath, the entire team getting decimated by Oldness strikes at the moment here. Die by the Sword trades for Blizzo. Big heals incoming from Asgrath. Zipai grips in Tana. They need a big hit here if they're going to pull this off. Where's the stun lock? They're not going for that Syndragosa. It's not available. They're going to have a tough time powering through this. Move cast from Tana, allowing himself to immune interrupts and stabilize a little bit here. Nerd Rage getting swapped back to these teams are looking evenly matched in the lower bracket so far. Zipai just getting hexed over and over. I love these hexes from Tana trying to exploit that advantage. Now Asgrath stunned up, has to Divine Shield. Where's the Shatter? Nerd Rage lands the Shattering Throw, but Asgrath looks stable. Looks like he wasn't actually able to get, maybe he intervened it. Tana, the target, it's Spear Bastion laid down, not finding Tana though. It looks like it missed. It's a little bit unfortunate for Blizzo. Asgrath now once again under fire. If there's a full stun here, he may have to use that medallion. Hammer of Justice available. Zipai counter engages. Empowered Rune Weapon. Big Frost Death Knight damage. Nerd Rage going to respect it. Die by the Sword. Tana respecting with Ascendance. Trading effectively.
Yeah, nicely done there. It's a beautiful setup and great denial there by Zipai, honestly. Well, let's see what they can continue to do. I mean, Asgrath obviously the main target in this matchup. And if Zipai, Blizzo, and Asgrath are all stacked up, that's a great opportunity for Nerd Rage and Kara to just get a bunch of cleave damage out, especially with those Hammer of Justice on Azrath. So he's going to be trying to avoid those, and it's going to be up to Zeepai as well as Blizzo to just keep them at bay for as long as possible. The Hammer of Justice does land. Nerd Rage behind the pillar, though. Anti-Magic Zone does get dropped down. Kara just cutting up everyone. Full Hex on Azrath. Zepai's in so much trouble. He's getting low. Big damage. Intervene does come in. It's a Blinding Light. Almost an execute range. 5% health. You can tell how back and forth this game is, and now Skill Cap DU's looking to get aggressive. Kara's in a little bit of trouble right now, trying to kite away. He's getting gripped in constantly by that new ability. And Shadowlands from the Death Knight, that Abomination's Limb. Just constant grips, keeping everyone in the Blade Storm. All that cleave damage, really, really effective. But now they swap onto Azrath, and Oldness Strikes. They are not letting Skill Cap DU walk away with this one easily.
Yeah, definitely close call there on Zeepai. Now another close call on Azrath here. He's waiting for that Divine Favor here, trying to keep himself up with the wings. And there it is. Big Save by the Light is going to proc right there. And he is going to be able to top himself up with a couple of Holy Shocks, with a couple of Judgments. And now Zeepai once again looking to find his target here, looking to set up the next shield streak here, potentially. Kara taking decent cleave damage, Nerd Rage as well now, getting Chains Device. And it looks like Skill Cap DU finally going to stabilize a little bit after two close calls there back to back. And now Zeepai in a hex, he trinkets out of it, he gets the grip, blinding sweep right there, and there we go, big damage coming out. But Kara is not in that setup. Kara now getting storm bolted, Nerd Rage taking decent amount of damage here, but he should be fine there. Spear of Bastion now onto Asgard. They're going to activate that Blessing of Protection, gets purged off, but it does remove the effect from the spear, and he is going to be able to keep himself alive. And now Kara once again kiting here, just trying to spread out the damage from Zeepai, trying to not get too cleaved here as these teams keep on pushing.
All right, Tana playing that Honor talent to reduce the cooldown of Hex, so you can spam Hex on Zeepai over and over, try and crowd control him with those Earth Grab totems and get control of his damage. It's so far allowed them to have a pretty big mana advantage at this point, so it's just a minor play that could win them the game over time here. Nerd Rage, Sharpened Blade up, trying to get some pressure out. He's afraid of the triple. Zeepai is trying to stack them up. Kara repositioning away. That's why Kara's playing ranged Ret Paladin right now, just throwing in Blades of Wrath and Judgment from range. He doesn't want to stand on top of the Frost Death Knight. Double Earth Grab Hex. Good combo. Kara's going to move in while the Death Knight is hexed and can't go for that setup. Nice coordination. Azrath in a stun. Blizzo disarmed. Trying to gun for Blizzo. Blizzo defensively fierce, but Tana gets gripped in. Zeepai is laying waste with that Abomination Limb, cleaving 3 targets here. Blizzo going to sharpen Blade as well. Really trying to turn up the heat here. Ascendant's not available for quite some time. Kara splits off, though, from the team, spamming some Flash of Lights, building up for Word of Glory. That freedom on Tana, allowing him to escape. And Kara's positioning here, his tactical positioning is excellent. Now Azrath in trouble, getting set up on. Zeepai defensively stuns, peeling the whole team, and actually hitting Braun on the enemy team as well, who's been called in. This one's been going on for some time. That little robot going to be adding some damage into the mix here. Azrath's almost out of mana, though. If Oldness Strikes keeps up their defense and good positioning, I think they've got this.
Yeah, things certainly not looking too bad. Hammer of Justice lands, immediate trinket. He does not want to mess around. Azrath going to be on the run, but they just cannot get this Warrior Retribution Paladin off of him. And with no trinket, super susceptible to that next Hammer of Justice. In the meantime, Zeepai is just getting absolutely chopped up. Azrath forced to throw out the sacrifice. Going to be taking a lot of that redirected damage onto himself. And if Kara and Nerd Rage, they just have to survive this. I mean, Skill Cap DU, they're going for it. Big damage coming in. Kara might get caught into a Hammer of Justice, but Azrath does not want to overstay as welcome. Now Kara's just going to be charging in. Big Hammer of Justice. Azrath has to hold on just a little bit longer. Nerd Rage going down at the same time. Both these teams just putting out massive amounts of pressure. And now, Skill Cap DU, they really wanted to go aggressive there. Or Oldness Strikes really wanted to go aggressive onto Azrath, but Skill Cap DU was able to deny them with counter pressure of their own. Onto Nerd Rage. Zeepai still getting low on the run. Just running and hiding with Azrath. But Azrath, he's got no tools left to work with. Oldness Strikes is looking good here.
Yeah, Zeepai is still very, very low. Azrath, almost no mana left. Has to use his Divine Shield there on the Hammer of Justice. Nerd Rage now could be in a little bit of trouble here, but Zeepai is just kiting, dropping out the Chains of Ice here onto the Warrior and just line of sighting here. You can tell that they're very, very scared on the side of Skill Cap DU. Look at Blizzo now taking a massive chunk of damage there from the wings of Kara, and they're just chilling in the Earthen Wall Totem. Here we go. There's the fear onto Tana, but I do believe that was a preempt. No, he gets Sanctuary out of that one, and here we go. Spirit Bastion, triple grip. This is the big shield streak setup. They need to get something here on the side of Skill Cap EU to remain in the game. Asgrath basically completely tapped at this point. Tana dropping out heal after heal, just bombing heals now, and Blizzo dropping low. Has to use Die by the Sword. Kara playing ranged Red Paladin now once again here, just wants to spread out, and Blizzo's Die by the Sword is finally going to run out. Tana looking for some hexes, not going to be able to find him right now. Kara just being off here at this point, and Braun once again in the battlefield looking to charge in and lay waste to Skill Cap EU here as they look to make their last push.
Asgrath has absolutely 0 mana remaining. Oldness Strikes just need one more advance. I think they're going to close it, but they're reluctant. They don't want to throw. Their defenses are also somewhat limited, but if they allocate it properly, they've got more than enough. But Asgrath regenerated some mana. He's got a little bit over 10% now. That could be enough for them to take the game. This is tense, 8 minutes in here in game number 1, the lower bracket final. Winner goes to the finals in Europe, and the loser will be out in 3rd place. Triple fear by Nerd Rage. Big setup here by Oldness Strikes. Tana goes for the Aura Mastery Hex. Excellent execution. Blizzo rallies in defiance to stay alive just a little bit longer, and it will be just a little bit that he needs. Nerd Rage falling behind, trades Die by the Sword. Tana uses Ascendance to keep his team aggressive, and it's go time. Z-Pi getting cleaved down by the Blade Storm of Nerd Rage. Asgrath gets purged, sheared on his big heal. Tana is making play after play in this game. You don't normally get to highlight the Resto Shaman, but he is definitely carrying game number 1 with all this crowd control. Another Hex casted, and that is it. Tana, in my mind, MVP here. We just usually flame the healer like you died. It's the healer's fault, and you don't really talk about like healers being like the thing. But in that game, like all the roots, all the hexes, that purge kick at the end, popping the cooldowns to get his team aggressive, like that was a healer carry. Give some healers some love.
You can kind of keep rotating your cooldowns indefinitely like that. And if they manage to do that, then they're going to be in a good spot. But Method, they look extremely hot in that first game. And we're going to have to see if they can repeat that setup that they just did in that first game.
Let's see if they can here. We see Deja stunned up. They're trying to blast him down, but he deflects it with that Dragon's Breath. Tana getting set up on again. Here comes the Wazwalker, and it looks like Kara trinketed, but it was a bit of a bait go. No Zwen, no combustion. So they get the Ret Paladin's trinket, but here comes damage. Deja, alter timing back, but getting crushed through it. Chaz trying to recover with that Avenging Wrath, big Divine Favor heal, but the damage isn't stopping. Deja, soul shaping, back into the starting room. Line of sighting, getting back now to his Paladin. Waz getting swapped too, waiting for that Paralyze. Shifting power, getting that Meteor back off cooldown a little bit faster. Trying to combo that together. Maybe they're going to go after the Ret Paladin with no trinket. Interesting to see where they go here. Leg sweep not available. They need Hammer of Justice. Is Chaz going to get to Tana in time? Chaz is moving in. He's getting close, but Deja's dipping low health. They blind Kara, paralyzed, triple crowd control. This could be an explosive area of time. They're trying to bait cooldowns. They're not popping combustion, but here comes the Zwen Tiger a little bit late on the setup to try and overwhelm them. Maybe a swap to Nerd Rage with no trinket. Leg sweep comes up in 3 seconds. They could eradicate the warrior in that leg sweep. I like that Oldness Strikes are rotating their trinkets, but Deja has not committed combustion, and they're running out of medallions. Only one left.
Yeah, they need to get crowd control on Kara for this next setup, and you can tell Tana is on the run. Kara gets the cross Hammer of Justice, and Theseus in a lot of trouble right now. The sacrifice comes in, and Chaz is forced to use the trinket as well, so big damage coming out from Oldness Strike so far. They're rotating appropriately, and Tana has been able to hold on. They've got the Sanctuary back up. Tana has his trinket. Chaz almost getting taken down from sacrifice damage, and this is looking a lot more consistent here for Oldness Strikes. But still, Method, they have the combustion, and that is a massive amount of damage available. We'll have to see how Oldness Strikes can deflect.
Oh, Tessia going for the Dragon's Breath ring, and this was another setup attempt here from Method, but Nerd Rage avoiding that setup. Here we go, Ring of Frost, Sheep. Let's see, do they have a Paralyze? They do have a Paralyze there onto Tana, but nothing onto Kara right now. They need to try to get something. They're actually swapping to Nerd Rage here. Combustor, big one shot, and he's gonna get destroyed in that swap there. What a beautiful setup there. But once again, I don't know actually. Tana was so far away there, expecting to be the target the entire time there, but they just went for Nerd Rage. He previously trinketed that setup. Kara also staying in line of sight of Tana, completely expecting that to happen on his healer. And Method just switched it up there and completely destroy the warrior.
just baiting goes now with the Windwalker. They're using the Storm, Earth, and Fire, trying to bait a trinket. They get it. They use Storm, Earth, and Fire again, bait a trinket, and they hold on to Combustion. They're spacing their cooldowns because each one of those could kill you 100-0. And so every stun, they commit one of those cooldowns and eventually run out of answers, or you anticipate yourself as the target, but you're not the target. Like Tana thinks he's going to be attacked right now. Waz is hitting him. He's been hitting him all series long. They paralyze him, but then Waz is like, nope, I'm hitting this warrior way over here. Leg sweep, Combustion, dead. You're not healing through that. Even if you're Ret Paladin in that position, it's just so much damage. It was a perfect bait and switch. They definitely know what they're doing. They're not tunnel visioned onto anything, and that game proved it.